Hi, my name is Carol Smith. I live at 425 East 3rd Street in Hinsdale. The gentleman, I came in late tonight, who talked about the camel's nose under the tent. Where are you, sir? I know you're still here. Okay. All right.
Carol, were you sworn in then?
No.
Okay.
I do. Thank you, Laura. 20 years ago, when I moved to Hinsdale, having grown up here, moved away and came back as an adult with my family, what I realized was wonderful about Hinsdale, and I spoke about this years ago when the teardowns began. The wonderful thing about Hinsdale was that there were homes with yards, there were homes that were small, homes that were ranch homes, homes that were big enough to handle any size family, be it Catholic or not. And that was a revelation, because I didn't particularly care for growing up in Hinsdale. So when I moved here, and all of a sudden the assault began, and I find it fascinating that, Sagita, you're reading a letter tonight from Jim McNaughton, the arch enemy of Chart, who is now saying it's all about the market. And he's right, because that was the argument that Chart faced 20 years ago by the developers that came to Hinsdale, that lived here, and said, Hinsdale will fail. Hinsdale will become nothing if we're not able to tear down houses, because the market is all about building a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house, 3-car garage with how many master bathrooms, et cetera, et cetera. So we're faced today with, as Nancy Grayheck said, 350 single-family houses for sale. How many people made big money because they sold their homes that were ranch homes, and many of them sold them to live on the same piece of property because they understood how great the value of living in Hinsdale is. The school system, the downtown, all of the charm that we have that has been under assault for 20 years since I have moved back here. And now we have, let me just go back to the Chart days when we said the horse is out of the barn. So what's interesting to me is that the Sedgwick development, because I read about, I went back, and Sedgley, is it Sedgley because of the Sedgwick Farm development? So I don't know if it's Hinsdale, the first 100 years, I'm not sure where I read it, but there was a slaughter of cows at that dairy farm on the Sedgwick property, which shut it down because it was some sort of disease that came through, and the government came in and shot and buried all of those cows that supplied the dairy farm, all of the dairy in our area. So it's a fact. I just find it interesting that we've gone from horse out of the barn, camel nose into the tent. Now we've got the cow slaughter at Sedgwick. My point is that here we are with the next Hinsdale claim to, call to arms for developers that we need empty nester housing. Had we dealt with the Chart issue, dealt with the teardown issue, had the village leadership, and I might add, I see that Joyce Skoog is here tonight, who broke the tie vote that night in 1997 when the Village Board of Trustees, 3-3, do we raise the FAR? Do we give the developers the green light to go ahead and tear down every house that we can? And there is still no ordinance in Hinsdale to preserve this. Here we are today, faced with another issue that will clearly saturate our village. There is no guarantee that these empty nester developments will not become rentals and/or families move in, and that takes care of our school system, which is, let's face it, what is the main thing that it's what Hinsdale is about. Hinsdale has everything you could possibly want as a place to live in. Okay, I think I'm finished.